Hi, Russell. Welcome to the Bob Pritchard Radio Show.
Hello, Bob Pritchard. I'm glad to be with you, and hello to all your listeners.
Thank you. Now, there are certain steps that we need to follow to get killer ad copy. So everybody that's listening to this, go and get yourself a pen and something to write on, and we'll give you a couple of seconds, and then start taking notes, because these might be the best tips you ever get in your life, because 97% of small businesses fail, or new businesses fail. Now, why do they fail? Usually not because the product's no good. Usually the product is good. It's the way it's communicated that lets the side down. So, Russell, what are the 7 steps to killer ad copy?
Well, these are the steps that I use in many cases to write a piece of advertising.
Sure.
The first thing that I do that most people do not do is you got to do your homework.
Right.
You got to know who your customer is. You got to know them as well as they know themselves. If at all possible, you have to get real close to that. So, as an example, what I do, for example, when I'm writing an ad, is I always tell a client, look, send me too much information instead of not enough. I need to know everything about your business and your customers, and I need to know it now.
Right.
That's just how I do. Now, if you're inside the business and you're writing copy for yourselves, then you need to maybe dig a little bit deeper. You need to ask yourself questions. I have when I deal with a client, I have a 30-question questionnaire. It used to be over 100 questions, and then it went down to 10 questions, and now I found the perfect 30 questions to ask yourself in order to get the information that you need to do your homework.
Right.
The other thing you need to do your homework on is all your competitors. Where are they advertising? What offers are they making? What's their price? What media are they using to advertise in that perhaps you're not, that you might want to test? Now, especially if you're monitoring your clients, your competitors, pardon me, if you're monitoring your competitors and you see them advertising repeatedly in the same media and the same markets, it's probably because the advertising is working.
Yep.
So that's a clue to you that might be a good place for you to advertise. And at that point, you're going to have to position yourself against them with a better ad, a more grabby headline, a better offer, not necessarily a lower price, because you can't simply sell on price. You got to make the best offer that you can, and also the service that goes with the sale, and so on. So that would be step number 1, about doing your homework.
I find one of the problems with most entrepreneurs is that they think to themselves, we have a killer project, so as long as we put it out there, they will beat a path to my door. And in reality, nothing can be further from the truth, can it?
Well, that reminds me of a poem that I heard once, and he said, "He who whispers down a well about the things he has to sell will not make the shining dollars like him who climbs a tree and hollers."
And that is absolutely true.
Now, a lot of times I've noticed this too, and many times a company will be a little bit reticent about blowing their own horn long and loud.
Yeah.
And one reason for that is psychological, is that they're around it every day.
Yeah.
They're around their products, but they don't know that this customer might not know them from anybody. So if you can't grab their attention, think about if you were hearing it for the very first time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like your very first time for anything. It's always the most memorable. You have to remember, these people might not know you from nothing. So you have to scream at least twice as loud as you think you need to do. And of course, I'm speaking figuratively, because if it's in print, you just need to capture their attention.
Sure.
I think people have 50,000 thoughts a day go through a person's mind. They're probably exposed to hundreds of different advertising messages. What are you going to do, either through a glaring headline, the use of color or graphics, the volume, the music behind it, if it's something that's has a sound aspect to it instead of just print, or if it has a visual aspect? What can you do to grab someone's attention? And if you can keep them for the first 5 seconds, then you have enough time to develop their interest, build up their desire, and then provide a strong call to action so that they order and buy right away, or give you their name so you can send them more information, sign up for your e-zine, whatever it is that you're again trying to get them to do to respond.
Yeah, of course, the other interesting thing is, of the 50,000 thoughts that you have today, 99.9% of them are exactly the same thoughts you had yesterday. So if you can come up with a breakthrough message, you're much more likely to be noticed.
You're right about that. You have to say something different, or you have to say the same thing in a different way, and you have to say it from a different perspective and catch them in a time where they might be receptive, or at least open their mind. If you can open their mind, you can open their wallet.